Hello. So how many of you guys love data? Woohoo! Yeah, okay, awesome. So we're going to be sharing with you today some of the best and most exciting insights that we've pulled together. And just to say one thing, you know, when Johnny and I were talking about preparations and the word to describe me, and he said compendium, I was like, I don't know, that just makes me sound like a big know-it-all. I'm definitely not a know-it-all. We're more curious, I would say, is a great word to describe our team because the industry is always changing. The marketplace, both technology and what we're seeing in terms of wellness industries and growth, it's always changing. So we're always trying to keep up with the latest trends. And we've got a great set of information to share with you today. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm joined today by some of my awesome research team members. We have Beth Leibovich, who's UX Research Manager, Marianne Connor, Senior UX Researcher, and we also have David Lau, who's our Market Research Manager in the back. So we've put together a fun talk for you guys. I'm going to be sharing some broad industry trends on wellness businesses and the wellness market, specifically in the U.S. Marianne's going to talk about some consumer trends because, as you know, consumers are the ones who are coming and visiting all of these wellness businesses, and so it's really important for us to keep pulse on that market as well, that two-sided marketplace. And then we have 3 panelists that are going to be joining us. So actual MindBody customers are going to be here, and Beth is going to lead them through a moderated discussion where we can go deep on some customer pain points. So that's going to be really exciting. So as Johnny mentioned, all this data is going to be available. No need to take photos of the slides. You can also come and chat with us more at lunch. We'd love to go deep on what we know and even potentially collaborate on some projects in the future. So let's get started. Okay, the wellness industry. So the great news about wellness is that the global wellness industry is actually booming. It's doing great. In 2015, the Global Wellness Institute characterized it as a $3.7 trillion economy. And for those of you who follow this institute, they're going to be publishing some new data in 2 weeks. So this will be updated, and we're hopeful that that's actually going to be over $4 trillion. To put that in perspective, it's about a fifth the size of the entire U.S. economy. So great market, lots of growth. Here's kind of an overview of some of the different sub-industries that we would categorize in wellness. And so you can see where, you know, fitness and the spa industry definitely doing well. So in terms of industry growth, here's some trends that we're seeing. Oops. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually. Yeah, so here's actually a deeper dive on some of what we consider to be the wellness market and the market size. So this is not reflecting the MindBody customer base, but you can basically see the opportunity in terms of total available market for fitness businesses, beauty, and integrative health or wellness businesses. And you can also see kind of, you know, what is it that we consider to be integrative health, whether it's a massage therapist, chiropractors, or physical therapists. So this is a lot of great information in terms of market sizing, and you can just see different opportunities and the scale of different opportunities. One thing to note on this data, it includes both sole proprietors as well as employer businesses. So the fitness industry is experiencing really strong growth. So in terms of, for instance, yoga and Pilates projected to grow at 4.9% between 2017 and 2022. So that's doing great. Gyms and health clubs also projected to grow at 5.3%. And then what we're seeing with specialized concepts like boutique fitness franchises, that's projected to grow at a much faster clip. In terms of U.S. beauty and wellness, salons and spas are growing at a nice steady pace. And then those specialized concepts like blow-dry bars and massage franchises are also growing at a much faster rate. When we look at our own customer base relative to the U.S. GDP, we can see that our businesses are actually doing better than U.S. businesses on average. So that gray line is the US GDP, and then we've broken out what we call our class-based businesses. So those are primarily fitness businesses and then appointment-based businesses. You can see that our customers are actually doing really great. Here's just some benchmarks on wellness businesses, some kind of fun facts to know about those businesses. The annual revenue on average is around $300K. In general, they're spending about 3% of their annual revenue on marketing. So that might be a share of wallet that's interesting to some of you guys in terms of how much spend is typically being put into marketing, whether it's through software or actually like advertising in the digital or even print base. Most businesses have been in business for around 6.5 years, although there is some diversity within that. And businesses may have a permanent storefront or maybe just renting or leasing a room, and then you can see kind of how that breaks down. Recently, we had the opportunity to do a benchmarking study with our fitness customers in terms of their monthly expenses. So these are just averages, but they're really good to see kind of like where is major spend happening at one of these fitness businesses. So this data is from a survey we conducted over the summer with almost 300 MindBody customers, and we asked them to identify how much they're spending monthly on different things. Like you can see the majority of spend is going to rent and mortgage and payroll, but then you can also start to see like where they're spending on things like advertising, website, and this software category obviously may be important for a lot of us in the room. Okay, so yeah, they're spending around $1,000 if you total up all of marketing and software. And this awesome looking Venn diagram is something we shared last year, but I love it because it basically shows you all the different service categories that our MindBody customers are, what they're offering at their business. So what you're seeing is appointments, enrollments, arrivals, and classes, and all of the different intersections. So I think one thing that's kind of surprising is a lot of people think, oh, MindBody just has primarily fitness customers and probably classes, but what you see is that basically 60% offer appointments as well as classes. Just a reminder that a lot of fitness businesses may have appointments that they're offering at their especially when they're more established. They may be offering appointments for personal training or nutrition, or they may start to have wellness services that they offer at their facility. So I think one of the really awesome things about MindBody software is that we support all of these different service categories. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking at the customer base overall in terms of who's doing what. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Mary Ann, who's going to talk a little bit more about consumers.